They say love often finds us when we least expect it, and for Ada, this truth was about to unfold in the bustling heart of Lagos. She was a young woman in her 20s, intelligent, ambitious, and beautiful in the kind of effortless way that didn't need makeup or glamour. Yet, life had not been entirely kind to her. She had known heartbreak, disappointment, and the sting of betrayal from someone she once trusted. After that painful chapter, she promised herself never to let her heart wander again. Her focus was her career. Ada worked in a fast-rising marketing firm in Victoria Island, surrounded by the bright lights and endless noise of Lagos. Every day felt the same: traffic jams, endless meetings, deadlines that left little room for anything else. Her life was orderly, predictable, and safe. But deep down, she was lonely. She longed for something more, even though she wouldn't admit it out loud. On a humid Friday evening, she left her office late, exhausted and drained. She hurried down the street, trying to beat the traffic and catch a cab before the sky broke open with rain. Just as she reached the roadside, a sleek black SUV splashed water from a pothole directly onto her cream-colored dress. "Hey! Watch where you're going," she shouted in frustration, though the tinted windows revealed nothing of the driver. She shook her head, wiping her dress with a tissue, only to hear the car slow down and pull over. The door opened, and out stepped a man, tall, sharply dressed in a tailored navy suit, his wrist glinting with an expensive watch. He looked like he belonged on the cover of a magazine. His face carried the kind of confidence that made people turn twice, but there was also a warmth in his eyes that softened the sharpness of his presence. "I'm so sorry," he said, walking quickly toward her. His voice was deep, calm, and disarmingly polite. "I didn't see that pothole." Ada crossed her arms, unimpressed. "Well, you saw it after you drenched me." He paused, then chuckled lightly. "Fair enough. Let me make it up to you. At least allow me to give you a ride home before the rain starts." Ada hesitated. She had sworn never to be swept into charm so easily. But the sky above rumbled with thunder, and the first droplets of rain were already falling. Against her better judgment, she sighed and nodded. That evening, in the heart of Lagos traffic, Ada sat quietly in the leather seat of his SUV, the city lights reflecting off the rain-streaked windows. She stole a glance at him as he focused on the road, calm, collected, yet somehow approachable. By the time she stepped out in front of her apartment, she found herself smiling for the first time in weeks. She didn't know it yet, but that unexpected encounter marked the beginning of the most beautiful love story of her life. Ada thought the night of the drenched dress would end as just another Lagos inconvenience, but destiny had other plans. The man introduced himself as Chike, a successful entrepreneur who ran a growing tech company in Lekki. Over the following week, he found reasons to check in: a polite text asking if her dress survived the laundry, a quick call to apologize again. His persistence was gentle, never pushy, and against her will, Ada began to look forward to his messages. They met again over coffee at a quiet spot in Ikoyi. The cafe was filled with soft jazz and the aroma of freshly brewed beans. Ada expected small talk, but their conversation flowed naturally, from work stress, to childhood memories, to dreams for the future. Chike wasn't the arrogant, show-off type she had imagined. He listened. He asked questions. He made her laugh. But Ada was guarded. She had been here before: the butterflies, the stolen glances, the excitement that quickly turns to heartbreak. She told herself not to fall, not again. Yet her heart was already moving faster than her mind could control. Weeks turned into months. Chike was consistent. He didn't disappear after a few good dates. He showed up. He supported her career, cheered for her small wins, and respected her space. Ada, for the first time in years, began to believe that maybe, just maybe, love wasn't a trap. Still, a quiet fear whispered in her heart: what if this is too good to be true? Love is never without its storms. For Ada and Chike, the test came sooner than expected. Rumors began to swirl. A colleague whispered to Ada that Chike was known for his wealth and women. An old friend cautioned her not to trust men who drove luxury cars and lived in Lekki. The voices of doubt grew louder than her own heart. One evening, while scrolling through social media, Ada stumbled upon photos of Chike at a high-end party, glamorous women surrounding him, champagne bottles raised. Her heart sank. Was she just another chapter in his playboy lifestyle? The next day, Ada confronted him. Her voice trembled with hurt. "Tell me the truth, Chike. Am I just another distraction to you?" He looked at her with calm but pained eyes. "Ada, I won't lie, I have lived that life. But that was before I met you. With you, I want something real." But Ada couldn't shake the fear. She pulled away, convinced it was safer to live than risk heartbreak. For weeks, they barely spoke. Chike sent messages, flowers, even showed up at her office once, but Ada's walls were up again. Her nights became heavy with silence. She had what she thought she wanted, safety, yet her heart ached. Sometimes, love scares us more than loneliness. The universe has a way of testing love until it proves unshakable. For Ada and Chike, the breaking point arrived one stormy night. Ada was driving home when her car broke down on 3rd Mainland Bridge. Panic surged through her as cars rushed past. She tried to call her mechanic, but her phone battery died. Alone and stranded in the pouring rain, she felt helpless. Just as fear consumed her, headlights appeared behind her. A familiar black SUV pulled over. Chike stepped out, umbrella in hand, rain soaking his suit. Without a word, he covered her, guiding her to safety. "Why are you here?" she whispered, her voice breaking. "Because I never stopped caring," he replied softly. "Even if you don't want me in your life, I'll always be here when you need me." Ada's tears mixed with the rain. In that moment, she saw the truth, not in his wealth, not in his charm, but in his presence when it mattered most. She realized love wasn't about perfection. It was about showing up, again and again. That night, as the rain poured on Lagos, Ada let down her guard. She chose to trust again. Months later, Ada and Chike's love blossomed stronger than ever. Their relationship faced doubts, whispers, and old scars, but together they built something unbreakable. Chike introduced Ada to his family, and though they carried reservations, they couldn't deny the joy in his eyes. Ada, too, began to open her world to him, her friends, her dreams, her vulnerabilities. On a quiet evening at a rooftop lounge overlooking Lagos Island, Chike took her hand. The city glowed below them, the lagoon shimmering in the distance. He looked at her with the same warmth he had shown the night they met. "Ada," he said softly, "meeting you was unexpected, but loving you has been the best choice of my life. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I want to face it with you." Her eyes welled with tears as she whispered, "I was so afraid of love, but you taught me it's worth the risk." In the golden glow of city lights, they embraced. Their story was not perfect, but it was real. And in the end, real love always wins. This was not just Ada's love story, or Chike's love story. It was a reminder for all of us that even in a world of broken promises, true love still exists, beautiful, fragile, and worth everything.